Hello, and welcome to this episode of Cancer Zappers. Today, we get the awesome honor of hearing from another medical physicist. And guess where this medical physicist is from? Somewhere else in the world. A female medical physicist from Costa Rica. She had some great things to share. But don't forget to subscribe to this by simply clicking on the subscribe button. Ask that question again. Are you nervous, Mariella?
A little bit.
Don't be nervous. It's just me, Alka, Cancer Zappers.
I need to get used to stardom, so might as well start. Hi, my name is Dr. Mariela Porras-Chaveri, and I am a medical physicist at the University of Costa Rica.
1996, there was a radiation therapy accident. What happened there?
So there were several things, but the main two things was there wasn't a medical physicist present at the institution at that time. Wow. The person who was doing or fulfilling this role was not trained as a medical physicist. They've only been trained in some courses. And the other thing is because of that lack of training of this person, then what happened was that there was a big error in the calculation of times for the treatments.
What kind of calculation?
It was essentially not taking the appropriate amount of seconds in a minute. So this was taking like 1.5 minutes would be 60 seconds, and then plus 50. It was like taking 100 seconds per minute.
Oh dear. 60 seconds in a minute. 60.
Yeah, I'm oversimplifying this, but that's the gist of it.
Okay. So what happened as a result of that?
Several people were irradiated with higher doses. Some of them, it's thought that they were also received less dose, but definitely at least like something like 70% of over 100 patients, almost 200 patients, I believe, were irradiated above their established doses. And that's how they found out, because these patients were presenting redness in the skin and other kinds of issues that they were not expecting to have. And then it was at the time of the IAEA report, which I believe was 97 or around that time, they were already established that 7 people at least had died. It was a big thing. Like, we still talk about this. Like, it was the big tragedy of our country.
Well, what I've heard though is that after that tragedy, so many amazing things were done to prevent it happening in the future. So can you talk a little bit about what exactly your government did?
So for once, it's like we've done a lot of things. As a medical physicist, I wish we did even more things. But one of the good things that the government did at the time was essentially put a stop to that and say, like, okay, we are in, this is a big issue, we're in trouble here, we don't want this to happen ever again. So one thing that they did was they declared a national emergency on the lack of trained medical physicists in the country.
I've heard of a national emergency on tornadoes or floods, but never a national emergency on the lack of trained medical physicists. That's really huge. That's awesome.
Yeah, so what that also allows is, it's not just like the call of attention, but that also allows to funnel resources from other places into training medical physicists that are from Costa Rica, that are going to stay in Costa Rica, and they're going to be working in our public hospitals. Like, most of our physicists are now our medical physicists work in our public hospital. One of the things that the government did was create the Costa Rican Cancer Against Cancer Institute, and use some of that money from this national emergency fund, use it to give scholarships to people to go and study medical physics and other areas that are related to cancer treatment. But a lot of us went on medical physics scholarships with this fund.
Wow, that's amazing. What is the status today? What does the research and training look like?
So right now we've come a long way. I think we still have a long way to go, but we've definitely come a long way since then. Right after the accident, a lot of the emergency care was done by the physicists from Cuba, physicists from Peru that came here, quote unquote, on loan, meaning they would stay here and then come back. Then one of the national universities, we have 5 public universities here. So one of the public universities opened their medical physics masters. This was a professional master's. Then the University of Costa Rica, where I work now, worked on and opened their academic masters. In terms of the future of medical physics in my country, the way that I've seen it is that we want to do more advanced things in other areas. So, for example, one big thing now is the cyclotron that we just got, because that would allow to have a whole different branch of medical physics research and medical physics clinical applications. So right now, all of our radioisotopes are coming from Canada. So then that makes them really expensive. That it takes a long time to arrive. Sometimes by the time they make it to the clinical side, they're essentially useless. So having a cyclotron here and being able to have PET-CT in country, that opens up the possibilities even more.
Love your story about Costa Rica, and we'll be thinking about you guys, and can't wait to talk to you again.
Yeah,
on this show.
Anytime.
On this show. Oh, I would love to visit. Yeah, me and my fiance are hoping to maybe go to Costa Rica. So.
Yes, and your viewers too.
Yeah, my viewers. Yeah, Costa Rica, that's the place to be.
Yeah, the shameless country plug.
Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, just introduce yourself. Who are you?
Okay, let me write this down.
No, you don't have to write it down. Why are you writing that down?